Here we go, folks. We got something new for you. As the title says, we're gonna start a Bible study, and so we have our man Carlos Garcia, originally from LA area. Now he's on the East Coast, a lot closer to my son than I am in terms of geography. He's a deacon at a Southern Baptist church, and he's going to be running it. And so, Carlos, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, lay out the format, things like that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it is an honor to be here. Thank you, Tim, for the opportunity, and Mike, I appreciate the opportunity as well. Basically, just how Tim was saying that I have been given the privilege and the honor to do a Bible study and share God's word, and just to do that in a format of YouTube. I will be going through the book of John, the Gospel of John, and the format how I wanted to be done is we can speak a little bit about Dodger, any headlines, any news that's been going on, any rumors or just how the off season is going, and then we'll do a little bit of Bible study, devotional time, and then what I would do is towards the end of the study we can have a little bit of questions and answers. I will say this: I'm not going to pretend that I know every single answer because I don't. I'm not God. But I will give you an opportunity to ask, and if I can't get the question answered, I can get it to you. So if you either want to send in your questions, or if you have any questions that you've been pondering about, or if you have something, I can always help you. Try to give you the best answer that I can. I will say this: I will preface it with this: is that the answers that I get is usually from Scripture. So that is my authority. That is my source of truthfulness, my source of just where I get my truth from. So I'll be using scripture just to make sure that I'm saying everything what the Bible's teaching me to say. So
Cool. Thanks, Carlos.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
So first one tonight.
Yes. So I'll be going one at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and that is 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we'll be going through the Book of John. I don't know how much of the chapter. I'll probably go to. I don't know if I'm going to do the entire chapter, or it depends on how we do it. I do want to hone in on a couple of the first couple of verses, just so we can talk about it, and we can definitely go through it. And then after that, we'll see where time leads us to, and see how fast or how slow we move. But for sure, I want to be able to do be careful with the Word of God, and want to make sure that I do it correctly. So.
Yeah, and folks, we're trying this out, and things are subject to change if things aren't working one way or the other, or if we go, hey, people want more of this, less of that, whatever. There we go. Let's go LA. But we're still obviously a Dodger channel, but when Mike and I joined, we said with more of a Christian values and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We keep the language clean as much as we can. We keep the chat clean as much as we can. But at the same time, it's still baseball channel. But during the Bible study, the Dodger stuff's going to be ignored until later. So, and it'll just get lost in the chat. So, yeah, we got Showtime and Craig Osterberg, Oliver is in the house. So yeah, now that's so that'll be 7 a.m. not 7 a.m. 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. I think Showtime time would probably be at 9 p.m. And yeah, so give it a shot. We're going to try and be consistent with it. It's gonna be Carlos doing it by himself. Now might be hanging out in the moderation area and things like that. And he may run into some tech issues. Just he's picking these things up, and we may drop the ball and have to pick it up and run it into the end zone. We'll get that all figured out. All right. Anything else?
No, I'm excited. Thank you again.
All right. How about them Dodgers?
Yeah, for sure.
Board.
How about some trades?
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is I have really soured. Not that they're bad guys. I have soured though on the national media. I think they're just not doing good. They're missing things, which is fine. But it's clear that they're making stuff up, and some of them they're doing it, and they let you know. Like, what's that boy name? Robert. I like him. He's a good guy. He just said, "Hey, I think that if this happens and that happens, that Kyle Tucker could fit into the Dodgers." And now all of a sudden you're seeing stories about it. Robert Murray. Yeah, he's purposely going, I'm just saying. I'm not reporting any rumors. I'm just going, he's doing what we do, on our channel. We don't try to go, oh, I got this source that said this and that. It's like, no, we try to look at stuff and go, well, what do you think? Because I was it's been almost 2 months since I put out that Bichette article. As my number one target. I had no sources. No, I just said this is what I think the Dodgers would do. That's all.
Oh, even the Screwball stuff starting to come back up again.
Well, they're bored.
Everybody's like, oh, Derek Screwball. Well, if you read the guy's stuff, it's like he's saying in July. It's not going to be happening, anytime soon. It could happen. It could not happen. But I get it. That's what, these folks do. And they want to put out at least some content, it's, whatever, that's why I just stick to the prospect stuff. And I've been generating some articles on my top 20 picks and just doing a breakdown of each of the players that I have. And because those are what's happening. And
it's what we actually have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, really, I don't know. I don't get it yet. But, I mean, I never heard when Sirota would come up, My Sharona come up. They should be playing My Sharona.
Yeah.
Like Sirota. Let's see. Norm disappointed Nakamoto. I didn't see that happening. We talked about it, a month ago now? Was that when we had Brandon on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we need to get him on again. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're going, not our cup of tea, maybe.
I'm not disappointed in it. I never thought he had a path to the Dodgers, no matter what, people sort of saying about Max Muncy.
Yeah.
My big thing is the replacement for Max Muncy for me is Alex Freeland. That's my gig.
It's my hope, yeah.
And there's really no pathway for Okamoto on the team. I actually thought he was either going to go to Arizona, San Francisco, or the Padres or the Angels. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I thought, again, you're not going to pay $15 million to a guy that's going to be a platoon guy.
No.
Richie's in the house. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Let's see if that works.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
And whenever I think of Richie, I think of call-ins. So we are probably, Mike and I briefly talked about it. We're going to do some type of a members only, where the member will give members who either from Patreon or from YouTube that are, well, any of the members, a login to come into the show and let them in, and he'll have the mute button if Richie comes in.
voice your concerns or your opinion or whatever, because it's a little bit easier to talk than it is to, actually type it out in the chat. So that'd be a good thing.
Right. And it's also, it's just a benefit, you come, you're a paid member. We're going to let you do some stuff. The Discord's been getting better. I mean, you guys are on it more than I am, right? What do you guys think of Carlos? Since you're, Discord, how's the Discord going?
Yeah, I love it. It's nice. I mean, it's a place where you can chat and speak with other people that are like-minded and hey, what's going on? And I like it, a private area too. Like, when we want to voice our concerns as well, or when we're like, oh, I don't think this article was good, or this probably should have been a little bit better, or it should have been better written. I mean, other than that, I thought it was great. I think, just wanted to grow a little bit more, obviously. And, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we got some folks coming in there. Yeah. Well, we're not letting you in today. No, this can be a short one, Richie, because
I have thoughts.
I know you have thoughts. And blank the Dodger Stadium parking lot.
Yeah.
Sure. Not a fan of Freeland. I'm withholding judgment. I'm still not. Tucker doesn't do it for me, man. I want Bichette, but that's the harder one.
I mean, if you're not a fan of Freeland, then how are you a fan of Yamamoto? I mean, nobody has seen him. Nobody in this chat has seen him play. And all you see is highlights.
I think Freeland. I've said it 100 times on the show. I was so surprised how Freeland just came in and played some really good defense at third and second without really playing that much at all there.
Yeah. I mean, Freeland is a much better, defensively is a better glove than Yamamoto is. Yeah. Can he hit better than him? Well, I mean, he's gotten a home run, maybe 2 home runs in the MLB already. Yamamoto has yet to prove himself. Same with all of them. I mean, Murakami's yet to prove himself. Amai's yet to prove himself. We saw the struggles of Yamamoto. Look at the struggles of Shohei Ohtani when he first came into the league. I'm not trying to bash on these guys. I think that their bats are going to play for the teams, that they're on, but there's just no pathway for them with the Dodgers. I never thought that they were going to be here. I never thought Amai was ever going to, come to it. So
yeah. Well, so we're going to address the Yamamoto thing. The Dodgers saw him. They saw him for years. They knew exactly what they were getting. That's and you know what? If they wanted Yamamoto, they would have got him. They would have made room for him.
I'm talking to people in this chat and people that comment on social media and stuff about these Japanese players. I'm not saying that I know everything about them, but I watch them. I study them. I've studied them for 5 years now. So I know a lot of these players that are coming up here and what they can do and what they can't do, and that's why I was able to get Brandon to come on here, because he knows 10 times more than any of us do. So, I look at it rationally, and I'm just not throwing names up there, that every person coming out of Japan needs to come to LA, because that's not the case.
Yeah. And they're going to be reasonable about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they, like I said, they're not going to pay $15 million to a guy to be a platoon guy. And if they really believed in him, they would find a way to get him. That's my belief. I mean,
definitely.
It's one of those. I hate to be that guy, and I'm going to go Jeff Snyder a little bit, but I trust the management a lot more than I trust us.
Definitely. I mean, it's like I said, it is what it is, and I'm happy for the guy. I'm happy for all 3 of them. They were able to leave the NPB and they're playing with major league teams, and I look forward to see their future and how bright it's going to be. So they're either going to prove themselves and move forward, or, they're going to be just an average player that's either going to go in the bullpen or go, be a designated hitter or be sent down to AAA until they can figure some things out. So,
speaking of pipe dreams, Richie, at least I was way ahead of everyone else on Diaz, and people were saying that's a pipe dream. That's all I can say. nothing the Dodgers will do will surprise me. That's why it doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need a bit. I think I agree with that. I just think it should be Bo Bichette and not Tucker. If we had a choice, now I still think Tucker lands in Toronto. It makes sense.
I say get them both.
Yeah. Well, again, would you? I don't put it past them. They've done so many things these last 2 off seasons before this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what they've done. And my only, to be honest, I really don't want to give up any pitching. That's why I like the free agents. That's why I don't want trades, because the trades are, we want Emmett Sheehan, we want River Ryan. No, you can't have them. Because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Pitching staff's going to die. By June, we're going to be looking for some dude from AAA none of us have ever heard of. It's just the way it is.
And the cool thing about, with the Dodgers and their scoutings that they have is when they're trading with another team, they pick up some pretty good quality candidate, prospects out of the other organizations that totally benefit this club. So,
yeah, I mean that the trade deadline. I said C plus, B minus. I think my originally was a B minus, and I kind of went C plus. Like, no, that was a great. Well, first of all, they won, so that matters.
mm-hmm.
But the people that they got, holy smokes!
Yeah.
It worked out really well, and they built more depth. See,
and I'm with you, Tim. I'm not. I don't want to give up pitchers, especially right now. Especially, look at the past 4 years, just right there on the amount of pitchers that we lose, from injury, and we're scrambling and pulling up these kids. Yeah, they're getting the opportunity to get up there and play in the major leagues and to get their feet wet and stuff. But look at the amount of pitchers that we have that can move from the bullpen, into a number 4 or number 5 starting spot, to help the club out. When
it got so crazy that in 2022 they brought up Michael Grove from AA. 2023 they brought up Gavin Stone, and he'd been bad.
Mm-hmm.
They were just that desperate.
Yeah.
So,
and then that one year where they had, what was it, 50 something appearances in Oklahoma just from rehabbers. That was really, completely unheard of.
That's what they do.
So, yeah. I'm all for keeping the pitching and because we're gonna need it. I'm kind of got a funny feeling about Yamamoto, with all that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see them slow roll him and bring him back slowly, because I don't want to see him get injured after, after what he went through this year and carried the pitching staff, the starting pitchers, and what he did in the World Series and in the playoffs of not coming in from short rest, pitching innings, coming in, out of the bullpen because that's what he wanted to do, because losing's not an option for him. That's his mentality.
Yeah.
And, I just want to see them slow roll. So we're going to need those young kids to take up some of the slack in the first couple months of the year, and giving them up. I just don't want to do it right now.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of, losing is not an option. Kyle Tucker feel that way? I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems to be just kind of never really performed in the postseason. Really talented player. I'm just not in on him.
Yeah.
I'm not, Benji. Hey, Benji, I'm not nervous about the Jays at all. Any you guys nervous about them? I mean, we play them 3 games.
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's like, yeah, that's the thing. And I think that one of the things about the Dodgers is that they don't go, oh my gosh, the Padres did this, the Blue Jays did that. They go, no, what do we need to do?
Well, I mean, look at what the Padres did this year. Look at all the talent that they signed. How well did they do? You still got to have the synergy, and they do have a great coach that could possibly, get that locker room into shape and make sure everybody's playing together and playing team ball and not individual ball. But It's a little bit different when you come into the Dodgers organization because of the culture that they have there. You're either going to fit in or you're not going to fit in, and we're not going to sign you if you're not going to fit in.
Mm.
Yep. And Norm is a really good point when we forget about this, but this will the labor stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's why someone may just go, I just want a 1-year contract or a 2-year contract with an option. Give me that big, type deal. And that works for the Dodgers because they can afford to do it. They don't care, they laugh at their taxes, other than it probably ticks them off that it goes to some teams that don't want to spend their money. Yeah, but it gives an advantage to the Dodgers. And I do want to say something. I swear, these fans out there, just because the Blue Jays sign somebody, the Dodgers sign one, they go, we want a lockout. And these people want a lockout. They want a work stoppage. That's insane. They don't understand what could happen. We lost the World Series in 1994. In baseball, they had to freaking let the steroids happen to bring the game back.
Yep.
It's disgusting. Man, if you want to lock out, you just don't get it. It is not going to help your team. The lockout isn't going to make some teams spend more.
And
the rules are stupid as they are.
It's great to see Toronto spending the money that they're doing. They're finally doing something. Looking at what the Dodgers did, all these teams and all these ownerships should have been looking at the playbook that the Dodgers have put together the last, few years of buying talent and putting a team together and not afraid to spend money and put together the best team that they can for the fans of Los Angeles and in the United States and in Japan and in Korea. They're putting together the best team to give them the best opportunity to go to the World Series. That's what every team should be doing, but they don't do that. Toronto's doing it now, finally.
Yeah. And they've tried, though. Let's give them credit. They were clearly in on Ohtani. They did say, "Hey, we will do that same deal that the Dodgers did." And who was it? Oh, they were in on Sasaki, the Dodgers on that one too. Oh well, and then of course they lose the World Series to the Dodgers by about an inch. But yeah, I still no Bo back in Toronto. I know that's. I get a little. I'm a fan of players if they can stay with their teams. They've established themselves as a guy. I think he should stay. But maybe they don't see him as that part. Maybe he goes, I want to be shortstop for life. And they're going, we've seen you play shortstop. Kind of like you at second, though. So we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Richie's just speaking some truth here. So I'm just letting it happen. It's really true. No, because he's a guy, he listens to some of the stuff I listen to because I'm down here. They are afraid. They don't want to talk. They're afraid of Manny. They are absolutely afraid of him. He's so touchy. It's bad.
Completely agree with Norm Lee.
Yeah,
right there.
They're on the verge.
He said it right there.
Absolutely,
right there.
They were this close.
Yeah,
that close on that play in the bottom of the 9th inning to winning the ball game right there. Even after Miggy, even after being two outs down, they were that close. Oh man, I never want to lose. I never want to lose something that close. That would be rough.
I'm really surprised on the Yankees, the Mets. What are they doing? Because they're going to have to compete against Toronto. And
well, the Mets don't. I mean, they're like us. They don't compete against them. But
I'm just saying, on the East Coast,
Boston's trying to improve themselves. They still. I mean, it's interesting to watch what's going on with them because I think there's a lot of cards in play here. You got Bregman, and you got Bichette. You got the second Cattell with Arizona as a trade piece, things like that. I think that something needs to happen in there, but I think it goes back to what Norm is saying about the impending lockout.
Yeah,
because Bregman. I wonder if he really wishes now he didn't back out. Didn't opt out of that one because he cost himself some bucks. But because now he's probably looking at doing the same thing because of the lockout. There's so many unknowns. The Dodgers go, if there's more penalties, we kind of don't care. But other teams are going, no, we do care. And it's hilarious that the Rangers were like just a few $1,000s over. And had to pay a penalty and didn't reset the cap in a bad year. I do think this is true. I think Belly's going back.
I do too. I think he's going back too. I would agree with that. That's why I don't think Tucker's going to sign with the Yankees. I think they're going to bring back Bellinger.
Yeah.
And I do have a conspiracy theory, but I'm going to wait on it. And, I put my tinfoil hat on one night.
Go make yourself a tinfoil hat first.
And then, but I'm going to wait until all the trading is done and spring training is start. And then I'll say what I almost said just now.
Showtime. Tell me when you've seen Kyle Tucker be a dog. Because he isn't. You know who did see be a dog? Dante. Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette is, man, that guy's got he's got some stones, that's for sure. Really appreciate that dude. And hey, there's a lot of people that keep like dunking on the Blue Jays. The only guy I really don't like is their center fielder Springer. And then I'm not a fan of Jimenez. With the whole Robleski, he's sitting there sticking his hand out there, and then wanted to go pick a fight. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, I wasn't on the Bichette thing for a while, but I don't really mind it. Now I think he'd be.
And it's still unlikely, even though I'm the guy that kind of originated it. Tucker has better when. How did Tucker do in October this year compared to Bichette, who was playing on one leg? I'll take Tucker.
My biggest thing is I want to get somebody who can hit, who's going to come in and produce in their slot that they're hitting.
Yep.
That's what I'm hoping for. We got a closer who I have my fingers crossed that he's going to have, another good year. But we're gonna have to wait and see on that portion of it. I think our bullpen is solid. Now, with everybody coming back, I completely feel that Tanner Scott is going to have an amazing year. It's not going to be the Tanner Scott of 2025.
I agree.
I think our pitching staff is great. I'm more worried about Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and their production this year. I think Betts is going to have a better year, but the days of him, 3 years ago, 4 years, I have a feeling that those are gone. Same with Freddie Freeman. And so we're going to need a little bit more power in those bats.
Yeah. Well, especially Freddie. I mean, that's why they got to rest those guys, man. They got to rest those guys. That's why you have guys like Tommy Edman that can play all over, and you got guys like, hopefully Dalton Rushing getting some time at first.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm kind of going off of what Norm, and I don't know if this is his point, but I would like to see a true leadoff hitter. I want to put Ohtani number 3, number 4, something. I want somebody with some speed. Yeah, Ohtani's got some speed, but he's not stealing bags as much anymore because he's a pitcher now, and we can't risk him sliding into second base and dislocating his shoulder once again, or having some type of problem. So I'd like to get a good leadoff hitter who can put the ball in play with Ha-Seong. Not saying that Ha-Seong Kim should be the leadoff, with Ha-Seong Kim's speed that can get around those bases and let Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, Will Smith knock that guy around and score runs.
Yep. You can keep going on. You're not going to convince me about Tucker. The guy has the life. He's not a dog, man. I don't believe in the guy. I just don't think he is that. I don't think he has the fire. And I'm going to pull this. I've been in the clubhouse. I know what that clubhouse looks like. He's going to be I'm afraid he's going to be a Conforto and not a Freddie Freeman or Mookie Betts. That's what I'm afraid of. I hope that if they sign him, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm afraid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Conforto actually had been good with the Mets a long time ago. That's a long time ago.
And I get it, Norm. I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think Ohtani's bat would be. I want somebody who's a true leadoff hitter, not somebody who's.
He's probably not in the organization right now.
Yeah,
I guess. And I don't know who's out there that would be available as a true leadoff guy.
Mm-hmm.
Kim is not a starter. Well, maybe he will be someday. Maybe he'll earn a chance. Maybe he'll earn it.
And I didn't say he was a starter. I was using him as an example.
I know.
Just like I said.
It's taking you out of context already, man.
Yeah.
I know. That's what you have to look forward to, Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird thing because really Mookie doesn't fit number one. I don't know. I think Seager's a gamer though. I know he gets hurt a lot, but I've never heard any reputation of that. He might not be that interested in baseball. Corey Seager loves baseball. He's been doing it all his life, hardcore and loving it. Mm-hmm. He loves it. I haven't seen that from Tucker. I haven't heard about it from Tucker. I'd like to hear it. If I start hearing stuff that he's so into it and he's so good at this and wants to be that and get better and all that, that's what I want to hear. But I haven't heard he's a bad guy either. So
yeah.
Freeland greater than Kim. Well, who knows? We'll find out. They're both gonna get plenty of opportunities this year.
Two different position players.
Well, they're both second base though. I do wonder though.
I think Kim is a way better second baseman than Freeland is, and I think Freeland is a way better shortstop than Kim is.
Yeah. Kim needs to work on shortstop. He's going to play the major leagues, that's for sure. Yeah, see, this is I'm going to get I think Mookie he's going to get a chance to be at the top again. But we'll see how it works out. They waited a long time. I mean, what did they do? Wait till game 6 where they started moving him down? And then they said, "Oh, we're moving you from second to third."
Yeah.
And it worked because he's got a 2-run RBI in that game 6. Yeah, we need slow rollouts. I've said it many times. I don't want to see Yamamoto till June.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about a Rendon. I'm concerned about a Conforto. I don't know. LA's different, man. LA's different. He's got to fit. And you know what though? The Dodgers will do the research. If the Dodgers get Tucker, I will trust them on that one. Even though the Conforto thing let me down. Okay, I've got Austin. Yeah, thank you, Austin.
Thanks, Austin.
Yep. Oh, someone came in with some cash. They do. They are amazing. Yeah, well, they always look at flexibility, right? I mean, that's one of their big things. And that's why they've had for years. They started with Kike, and then they brought in Taylor, and then those guys. Kike gets hurt, Taylor got hurt, started really falling down, and eventually got released. And then, they brought in Edwin last year, same type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bummer about Conforto. I was like, oh man, this guy will be good, but it just didn't work. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it just didn't. For some reason, it didn't work. But they have the best people out there. They build roster flexibility. That's why I don't sit there and worry about 26-man and 40-man because they're not worried about that type of stuff. They're going, we have people in our organization who can play multiple positions. That's why Freeland, he plays 3 infield positions. Kim plays 1.5, and he can play half of an outfield. I mean, even with that, there's flexibility. So I like that, and it's whether they get a Tucker or a Bichette or both or neither. Like someone said it earlier, if they get neither, I'm fine with this team. We're still the best team in baseball. No, not even close, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Cease don't make that much of a difference to me. fact, man, if we play the Blue Jays again and they have Dylan Cease, man, let's go. Let's go.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
They try stuff. They believe in stuff, but yeah, they're not perfect, but they're still the best. Who knows? It could be just gossip. We don't know. I just want to see something that says this guy's the bomb and he would fit perfectly in with the Dodgers. But again, the Dodgers, if they get him, it's because they believe that he can fit in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just go, yep. They have way more sources than I do, obviously. And again, Freeman hasn't given me that phone call to ask my opinion. So
right.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. Too old in other ways. But hey, no one was saying that that was a waste when they were signing him. There was most people were like, "Oh yeah, this is great, Tanner Scott, great." It just didn't work yet. And Kirby Yates, yeah. And no one's even seen Tucker speak. No one. Again, how many times have I said it? You couldn't pick him out of police lineup. He walked by you across the street. He didn't fit. It's one of those things where you just go, is that well, that prevents him from being a $400 million player. Doesn't prevent him from being a short-term guy, though. They want superstars that are going to be long-term. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bichette's got some shine to him.
I'm going to say Freeland for right now.
But he's been called up already. It's his first big league call-up. I don't know.
For his first big league call-up this season?
Ferris? I don't know. I don't know.
I'd lean towards it. It all depends on what the pitching is.
Well, that's what but I don't know who do we have?
We don't really have anybody right now that's like in the complete pipeline who's not a pitcher. I would agree. Ronan Kopp. I would agree Jackson Ferris. But the pitching has got to be dismantled before they even get called up with all the pitching that we have already.
Showtime, I knew you'd do that. Don't believe him. He's making it up. So, and I saw the tweet. I get the thing. It says, the Phillies are among a number of big market teams that have interest in Bo Bichette, an ultra young free agent. Yanks, Cubs, Dodgers, Red Sox, incumbent Jays. 2. Bichette is the only player to hit 300 versus fastballs, breaking balls, and also changeup splits. He got that right. The last sentence. He's just making stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
They get paid for this. They get paid for it. So I know Heyman's just speculating. That's all he's doing. Heyman, I like John. I've met him a couple. I like him, but these guys, they're just speculating. They probably heard from a guy that works in the peanut vendor or something like that, that the Phillies are interested.
So
I like Heyman.
So Norm, none of the outfielders right now
he's ready. I mean,
I'm talking about his Sirota comment.
Oh yeah.
Sirota right now really isn't ready. He didn't play. I think he only played like a quarter to maybe half of the season, and then he hurt his knee really bad. So he's still got some more time to develop.
Did he have surgery?
I don't know. See, I don't. If Boston's still in the chat, maybe he knows, because he's got contacts that are right there. But I haven't heard that he had surgery. He might have had surgery on his knee. But all the other ones, I think the closest outfielder that could be ready would be Tibbs.
And Ward. I mean,
And besides Ryan Ward.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I forgot about Ryan Ward.
Yeah.
I assumed. Yeah. See, this is the thing. These guys are making stuff up. And hey, no one had Diaz except me. Just saying, and Doug too. Because Doug and I talked about that.
Hey, fellas, I gotta jump off.
Yeah, I gotta pretty soon too. All right, Carlos. So again, 7 p.m. PST, 10 p.m. EST, and 9 p.m. Showtime time. The Book of John, not First John, not Second John, not Third John.
The Gospel of John.
The Gospel.
That's right.
According to John.
That's right.
Yes. All righty.
It's the big one. A lot of red words in there. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you later, Carlos.
Sure. I'll see you.
We'll try to follow in. Talk to you later, and then we'll get it. Yep. All right. They did not have surgery. Okay. That's
okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I didn't know for sure. I didn't want to say yes, or I didn't want.
I know, because you never know with these. Guys.
Yeah.
Because I don't put any value in them at all. I've really taken a black pill on the national media.
That's why I don't comment on that, Aaron. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, I don't comment on rumors. The only time you'll see me comment is like when Yamamoto signed. Congratulations. That's when I'm going to comment. I don't comment on all these rumors of Scooble or, whatever. It's just, and I get it. People are playing or not really playing games, or are playing the what if game.
Yeah, what ifs are fine.
Which is cool, but some of these reports that have come out, recently on a certain, I don't know if I really want to say anything about it right now, but I didn't really agree with a comment that was out there because the kid hasn't even played a day of baseball in the pro league yet.
Yeah. See, hepatitis, he's got it down. Sources telling the Dodgers interested.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And it's, like I said, I put out the Bichette thing 2 months ago almost, but that was my own thoughts and trying to think about how the Dodgers work. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how they work. Sometimes I'm right. Many times I'm wrong, but I was right about Diaz. And I grift whenever I see a Bichette thing come up. I grab the link to my article and I throw it out there because I know I should do that.
I was right on Yamamoto.
Yeah, yeah. Doug was probably second on that one. We talked about that for a while too. I mean, because Doug and I do our conversation. This is not of the sorts I'm saying, but yeah, he was definitely into that too. Yeah, Arson Judge, poor. So the whole dropping the ball in New York, and they show like the Times Square, the ball drops.
Yeah.
They always show Judge doing. I feel so bad for that guy. That's a guy because he's a good dude. He's a good dude. But he's forever and ever. He's the guy dropping the ball. Well, it's gonna be like some of those other guys. On the one side, there's the guy that did the good thing, Sammy Boy's in the house, and then on the other side, there's the guy that did the bad thing. It's like, oh, you want to be remembered as the good one, not the bad one. Like I can tell you, I know who hit the ball off of Judge, but I guess most people couldn't do that quick. The Judge dropped. By the way, it's Tommy Edman. That inning was so ingrained in my head up to a point, but
that was an amazing inning. And talk about
crazy,
changing the game. Just the momentum of that game was just turned instantly.
Yeah, and then the Yankees, remember, they got the lead again, and then they didn't. See, Norm, this is that's why Toronto being all about contact. That's why there was a few days ago, someone asked, what if the Dodgers had played the Mariners? Dodgers would have smoked those guys. They would have set records for their pitchers striking out guys. Because it was a strikeout team. That's what the Dodgers do. Toronto made it rough. I mean, they, especially with Snell. He was the one that struggled the most in terms of just they getting on him right away and him having to throw a lot more pitches. I mean, he always throws a lot of pitches, but compared to like Milwaukee, oh my gosh, that was a tough one. Oh, JaVale McGee in baseball. No, JaVale McGee ain't going to Hall of Fame.
I think the Toronto's park fits Okamoto also. I think he's going to be able to hit some home runs. I'm not going to be surprised if he's going to have, depending on the amount that he plays and where they're playing him and what they do with him. If they have him as a DH, he's going to be an everyday player. He's going to be playing third, or he'll be out in the outfield, and then he'll DH every once in a while. It all depends on what they do with him. But he has a good opportunity of, 25 plus home runs, for next year.
Yeah, because they're not signing him to be a part-time guy, so he's definitely at full-time time. And so that's the best. He's acting a fool, it, Hep. JaVale McGee. So this is a really good question. Do you think Pages will regress, improve, or make no progress in 2026?
I see him improving in 2026. I think you're going to see a totally different person at the plate for Andy Pages. I think he's going to hit very well this 2026.
Yeah, one of the things that impressed me about Pages this year was his center field play, because the beginning of the year he looked lost on some of those types of things, especially balls over his head. But he improved and became a positive in center, where I'd go, if the Dodgers get Kyle Tucker, I'm fine with Pages in center field for the next few years. I mean, and so the fact that he improved is good. Where he didn't improve, of course, was base running. He's a lunkhead out there.
Yeah.
That needs to stop. He needs to stop making mistakes out there. The question is, can he improve like he did in the outfield at the plate in terms of plate discipline, or is he going to be a lunkhead and swing at pitches he shouldn't be swinging at? And and it showed obviously in the postseason. Even that last at bat he had in the 10th inning, like, dude, that pitch was up and in on you, and it grounded right back to the pitcher. He had a chance to be a legend right there, but it didn't happen.
And my personal view of it is, I think Pages was kind of working more on his skills in the outfield and kind of let his bat drop a lot, because we both know his ability to hit, his natural talent, and his natural power to hit. I mean, is amazing. And that's just my own personal opinion about it. Is I think he was concentrating on working on being an amazing, or improving his outfielding, especially out in center field, and that kind of affected his bat a little bit.
This one was interesting. British fans trying to convince themselves games 6 and 7 weren't chokes because they weren't expected to be there. Choke. Yeah, there were some moments. The manager, I thought, choked. And then a couple times he did not send in that last inning with the really, really awfully slow hitter. He didn't send him, and he should have. And they didn't handle IKF at third correctly. They were playing him too short. So the coaching choke, and we've seen that before with Roberts. They stopped managing enough. Doc never stopped, but Doc learned.
Yeah,
Doc's had his moments. So there was some choking there, but Clement hit the crap out of that ball that Pages caught. If you want to, however, Mr. Tough Guy, Hoffman, he's a big tough guy during the Robleski thing. He did choke. He gave up. He gave up a game-tying home run with 2 outs there were 2 outs from the World Series. He gave a game-tying home run to Miguel Rojas. That's a choke. That is a huge choke. Bieber giving up his home run to Smith. He's pitching in the bullpen. Whatever. But man, there were some moments where it's like, could have gone either way. There's moments where there's a few where the Dodgers were that close to being eliminated and losing the World Series. So that's got to be rough. That's got to be rough on them. Their manager's got to be kicking himself over and over and over. Yeah. Hoffman, oh man. It's definitely not 2024. It's the best team. Because I look at the teams in the World Series. If you look over the season, dang, they all had weak spots.
Yeah,
pitching staff, best overall pitching staff was probably 2020. Because they had a good starting pitching and a good rotation, and they all pretty much performed. But boy, they didn't have Shohei. So I don't know. And they didn't have Freddie either, but they had Corey. So I don't know. It's really rough. That's a rough one. But my favorite World Series is most intense and most rewarding one is 2025. This is my 5th one that I'm aware, that I was alive and watching. Well, I was alive for 65, but I wasn't watching. Just amazing. Yeah, it was no relation to Trevor Hoffman, though. That's for sure. Trevor Hoffman would not be out there talking smack during a fight, acting like a big tough guy. Trevor Hoffman's actually a really good dude. Yeah, it was. I mean, they were pretty darn solid. You had prime. Kershaw was still better than he is. It was his last really good year. Buehler was known. He was Yamamoto. And then Urias was really good. And they, Gonsolin and May were that was maybe the weakest spot there. And neither one of them really performed that well.
All right.
Yeah. And this one, Flaherty was our number 1 guy. He was getting them to game 1 starts. Yamamoto was still recovering. He was still coming back from his injury. Like in the first, and then Buehler turned it on. He just became October Buehler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yamamoto pitched very well in the playoffs and in the World Series.
Oh, he did. No doubt. But he was not healthy coming in. He was still recovering. He pitched like only what 4 innings the first game, and he lost. He lost game 2. But they figured him out. He figured it out. Would you rather be Hoffman or Nestor Cortez? Oh, Nestor Cortez easily. I'd rather give up game 1 grand slam than game 7. Game 7 where you blow the save. Of good Lord. Oh my gosh. Whew. Man. That was intense. I'm still. Yeah, Yamamoto was. Hey, Kyle. Yep. But Seager wasn't initially. He did have that one big home run off Verlander, but the rest of the time through 2019, he hadn't done that much. But yeah, this was a really good rotation. But the bullpen wasn't what we expected. Preseason, going into the season, man, I thought we had, again, to qualify, you can never have enough pitching, blah, blah, blah. I still thought we had the best everything, pitching and rotation, best team going in by far. But that's how the season works out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to go in 2020. Yeah, they were down 3-1. I had a draft of an article on Dodgers Nation. I do my yearly State of the Dodgers. I had a draft, and only like Gail Johnson has seen it, and I deleted it, but I was nasty. It was like, this team's got no heart. Oh man, all over him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nestor, Lance Lynn. Well, Lance Lynn has a ring. Nestor doesn't.
Yeah.
He got one in with St. Louis in 2011. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
I am not worried about Tanner Scott.
Me too. I'm actually really jacked for him that
Yeah.
he's going to be good.
He's going to come out with a vengeance. He's got something to prove.
Yeah. And we hear, Doc says, and I'm not quite sure. Maybe he's just covering for him a little bit. He said he had an injury, he thinks he had an injury all year. We don't know that. Maybe he did, but we can look at, though, he's in a role that he wasn't comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And now he gets to go back to just coming in whenever they need him to go get that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, Arnettic. Absolutely. That home run was awesome. Then Kike broke his shoulder. But you know what? Even after Kike dislocated his shoulder on that Game 7 against the Braves, people forget Bellinger hit a home run in Game 1 of the World Series a few days later. Richie ain't lying. Richie ain't lying.
Every time you see me laugh, it's because I'm reading a comment from Richie.
Oh, look at this, Benji. Oh yeah, that was probably the utter embarrassment, or I can't remember the title, but it's still out there. I don't delete my stuff. Yeah, I went in hard on them. They needed to be. They deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
They all needed to be. And to be, as we all know now in history, it sounds like Doc would have had a good chance of being fired if he didn't win that Game 3 against the Padres.
Yeah.
The question is, how long did he have that? If he had it the whole year, man, get it fixed earlier, man. Jeez. But because he was, people are going to go, Tanner Scott didn't do anything to earn a ring. You know what Tanner Scott did and some of those other guys, the Kirby Yateses and all that? They were pitching. They were live batting practice pitching to these guys during, pregame and all that type of stuff. They were out there doing work.
Mm-hmm.
So every little bit helps. What's his name? Our boy Honeywell, right? Last year. That dude didn't have one really good game, but he ate a lot of innings, was willing to go out and throw strikes to Mookie Betts and all that type of stuff. You do watch her from time to time. Well, good. And I guarantee that the Dodgers were embarrassed also.
Oh,
after 2022 and especially 2023.
No doubt about it.
For sure. The expectation of a Trinan bounce back. I don't know. Hopefully some rest helps him.
I have a lot of confidence in Triton. I thought he was actually going to, turn things around, but he didn't. I think, he's actually going to evaluate, what he did and look at all his film, in the off season and see where he can actually.
That music is ominous, dude.
Yeah.
It's not,
and actually see
not personal, it's business.
What he can do.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think he was healthy. I think he was pitching beyond stuff. And so I'll, maybe I'm wishful thinking, but why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope and he pray that he has a bounce back. But if he doesn't, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No, then he always got it. He's getting paid $11 million. He's going to be on that roster at the beginning. So let's hope he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's not good by the middle of the season, he may not be on the team. If some of these young guns get shoved to the bullpen, shoot, man. I'm waiting for the Godfather response here.
He's got it already. Benji does.
Okay. Yeah. Whose career would you rather have? Sandy or Koufax? I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm going with Sandy Koufax on that one. I just in the era of, when he came up, yeah, it's a little bit different than the era when Kershaw came up, and just his ability of what he was able to do, uh, his accolades that he had, his ability to carry the team a little bit more than Kershaw. So I'm going with Koufax on that one.
I am too, and part of it is because of the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was nails. It's different times. He didn't have Don Mattingly managing him and doing stupid things like bringing in Pedro Baez to wreck his ERA. But Koufax was really, really, really good in the postseason. You could look out, complete games to finish. Again, different era. And but I have huge admiration for both, and really huge admiration. Kershaw, he's been married to his high school sweetheart. He has got just had his 5th kid, Chloe Peach. So I have such admiration for Kersh and the things he does around the world. And he'll be doing more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don Mattingly was a great player and one of the worst managers I've ever seen him in terms of all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They should have blown him out of the water after 2013 when him and Coletti were sitting there, wouldn't even talk to each other at that press conference. They wouldn't even look at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's for sure. I would have. And that's when I turned on Donnie Dum Dum. Was 2013. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy's not good. He's just not. It was so many dumb giving away outs that were poorly given away, giving up players out of his lineup. I'm like, oh, dude, what are you doing?
All right.
Here's let's pinch hit for Andre Ethier in the 5th inning. What? What are you doing, man? Oh, well, he's got to face that one left-hander this one time. No one on base. Come on, dude. Blake is probably cooked. Yep. Yeah, I agree about Ned Coletti, and he was also handcuffed by a really bad owner.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like Ned Coletti. I think he was good.
Yeah. And he hired some good people too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the guy that was just retired from the Padres. He helped bring in a lot of those players.
Mm-hmm.
That brought in Matt Kemp, Russell Martin, all those types of Ethier. Coletti made the trade for Ethier.
Yeah.
What are your goals for 2026? Lose 30 pounds. Dead serious. What are you, Mike?
What are my goals for 2026? Well, since I'm retired now, I really don't set that many big goals anymore. I just take life as it comes. So I think for me is one of my goals is to get to Oklahoma this year.
Yeah.
And to attend a Comets and Drillers game and actually go and see the Loons play. That's two goals that I have.
Logan White, that's it. One of the eras I really liked was the Hanley Ramirez, Juan Uribe stuff that was going on Instagram. Freaking Hanley was always talking about go Uribe. That was his guy. So I missed that stuff. And if only Hanley's ribs didn't get broken. Adrian Gonzalez, and you got to look at it this way. That was the start. That trade, the trade they made to get Hanley Ramirez was the first real big trade they made. They went and got Hanley, then they did the Adrian Gonzalez Nick Punto trade. Then they went and signed Ryu. They signed Greinke, all within like 8 months. That was where things got started. And they started going, hey, now. And then once they got Freeman, they really turned it on. because they said, we're going to start doing some things with money that, to be honest, the previous management didn't think of doing.
Right.
They said, we're going to use our riches to pay off some bad debt, basically. They thought that, people will say it, but because we all love, I love Matthew Ryan Kemp. That trade for Grandal is one of the greatest trades the Dodgers made. That was Grandal was really good for 4 years. Kemp was declining, and then of course Kemp came back and had a really nice 2018. It was really good to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really like that era. It gave us hope. Really, that's what it did. Let's see. Richie, yeah, this is so true. Well, the thing is, he needed to let the laptop make some of those decisions, because some of those were unexplainable. He had to get a feel for the game, because he was an outfielder, not a catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Beckett had his good year. That final year, he pitched a no-hitter. That was great. I mean, yeah, they could. They had those opportunities. I mean, Coletti had a CC Sabathia trade ready to go, and he was denied it because they didn't want to spend any money. And that would have changed. That could have changed the world, and it would have been really fun to watch CC hit too. That was only for 1 year, 2010, and then he came back. And 2011 was great, and then ran into the wall at the Rockies there. Blake DeWitt was Lux before. Now Blake DeWitt, I don't think he wasn't nearly as highly regarded. I liked Blake DeWitt playing more than Jeff Kent, though. I still can't believe that guy's going to the Hall of Fame. It's just absurd. CeCe would have been a legendary Dodger, man.
Oh yeah,
gosh,
no doubt about it.
Him and Kirsch, and then his and he would have been batting for all those years too. He would have probably hit 10 home runs over that period of time. It would have been fun.
Yeah.
That dude could rake. I mean, he went and raked in Milwaukee for that, two months they had him. He was excellent. Yeah, that dude. He went and got a World Series. Good for him too. He got his World Series this first year. Wish he kept Pedro, no kidding. Let's see, other than McCourt. Yeah, Fox ownership was terrible because they were, I mean, not that the trade was horrid. It's just the whole Piazza trade, the way that all worked out. And I'm going to be honest, Tommy Lasorda was a terrible general manager. He did not. He was playing. He was just playing. What's it called? Fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go all-time Dodger pitchers, we got quite a list. No matter what in LA.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, really, the fact that we have Yamamoto and he's already a legend for us as Dodgers, but now he has a chance to become a real baseball status on that. We had a wreck. So we had a wreck yesterday at the drag strip, folks. Someone just asked about it. I'm going to answer it later. And then, we've seen Yamamoto. He has a chance to be a baseball legend. But yeah, for the Dodgers, I mean, Miguel Rojas is a legend. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I mean, I got their numbers on my freaking hat. And what a thing. Yeah. Yeah, you should have been sore about the Bell trade thing. Then they traded DeLuca in the middle of the season, and it was just so weird. Just a weird time. Oh, because we had Podesta. That guy set us back years too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Jonah Hill was terrible as our general manager. All right. I gotta get rolling.
Right on.
Hey, what chat really got going? All right.
Yeah.
Hey folks, so if you choose, please come by, even if you're not a believer, come by, check out Carlos tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern time. He will be starting in the Gospel of John.
Yeah, show a little support.
And just real quick, if you've never read the Bible and you need to start somewhere, you don't start at page 1. you start at the Gospel of John. That's a really good place, or any of the Gospels, but John is really good. Maybe start. Well, you could maybe Mark or Matthew then, but you start at the Gospels. You don't start at Genesis and go through. You'll end up reading these things called Chronicles, and you will find yourself falling asleep because you're reading name after name, beget, 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 beget. Hoy. Oh. You try a chronological Bible. That's what I'm trying this year, because it mixes in the chronology as it happens. So like in Genesis, when talking about Noah, it goes to Chronicles briefly, then it jumps back to Genesis. We don't know it depends on my schedule. Someone will be in the chat, and yes, if people, any moderators, you see some people getting out of sorts. Now let Carlos moderate the theology, and myself and Mike. But if you see people getting out of sorts and getting really weird, just put them in timeout or block them. Maybe just do the timeout for now. But if they keep coming back and being real jerks, then we'll block them. But yeah, let Carlos handle stuff and let us handle it too. In terms of we're trying to avoid what's called sectarianism, which is people coming in and going, like, let's say I come in and I go, oh, I'm gonna go my side of Christianity, which is this, that, and the other. And then Mike comes in and goes, no, it's my side with this, that, and the other thing. We don't want that. We're just, here's the basics. He's reading out of the Bible, and he will have opinions, which is fine. Everyone's going to have an opinion and how you interpret it. And if you have want to have a discussion with him, Dodgers2080@gmail.com, and we will get the question to you. But yeah, it'll be cool. Yep, drop them hard, Richie. Richie, man, if you're there, it'd be really cool. You'd be setting the example, dude.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. Thank you, everyone. Any last words, Mike? I didn't give you that.
Hope everybody had a great Christmas and a happy New Year, and I look forward to 2026. Hopefully we're gonna build the channel with your support and with your guys' help in regards of sharing the channel and what we're going to be doing here, starting in spring training, and the amount of content that's going to be going up. Truly appreciate if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. If you are a subscriber, share it, get the word out, because this is what my plan is. Just another one to go off of Ross Man is, I'm going to be putting out a lot of content from spring training and from all the games that I'm going to be at, and it takes a lot of work. So the support that you guys do is greatly appreciated. And just like, the Bible and the Word of God, spread the word and let's get this channel growing. My goal for the channel is to be at least 10,000 to 12,000 subscribers by the All-Star break.
I love it. Let's go. Let me retire.
Yeah.
Hey, please, if you can, spread the love. We are a little different. We understand what the media is doing with the national baseball media. We know what they're, and it's fun. I get it. And it causes, at least it's like, oh, that's an interesting guy. And if we go, that would be a good guy to trade for, we'll talk about it. But we're not going to go, ooh, the Dodgers are going to trade for him. We speculate, but we admit it.
Yeah.
No, my sources are not kicking in right now.
Exactly.
Exactly. Again, like I said, Freeman hadn't called me for my opinion lately, so I'm waiting for it, or ever. All right, cool, folks. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy Saturday. And hey, you can go to church tomorrow. There is time. Or you can even go tonight. If you got a night to go to. Like a good 6 o'clock mass or something like that, head over, or your church or whatever. Go to church. All right, folks. As always, God bless.
And go Dodgers.